What's going on, everybody? Jolt here from the Thetokenminorities, and today I am bringing you a ladder match. Yeah, a ladder match. I haven't really done much laddering recently, just due to a lack of time and kind of a lack of interest in OU, but with the Lando-i ban, and with a couple pretty favorable changes to my main team, I decided it's time to give the ladder another shot, and I also had a little bit of extra motivation from Sticks saying that he'd stop grabbing my titties if I was able to get top 50, so I'm going to take him up on that offer and try to get top 50. I'm currently sitting at roughly number 100, and here I have a battle against Jake5, who is ranked number 16 in OU at the time of this battle, and it turned out to be a very, very good match. A little bit hacksy at times, but the plays really on both of our parts I thought were very crisp, and I thought it was worth showing to you guys here in a replay. So looking at team preview, I'm obviously on the near side here as FUGGACITY, which is Fugacity. If you know what Fugacity is, leave a message in the comments and you'll be my best friend forever. And my opponent Jake5 is obviously on the opposing side. I am bringing my main squad with a Clefable edit over Sylveon. It's Unaware Clefable, full Spadef, and then my other mons are just kind of what I always run. Latios is a little bit different, Lander's T is a little bit different, and I'll explain that probably in later matches and hope I get a bunch of high ladder matches for you guys here while I am at the top of the ladder, you know? So my opponent is bringing a Keldeo, a Sand offense team, I guess, with Excadrill and Hippowdon, Mega Guard, most likely Healing Wish Latios, or Latios rather, and then a Bisharp. And it's kind of a threatening team, but I also realize that if I'm able to hammer down Keldeo, I can really maneuver around his team very well, as Keldeo is going to be a threat, especially if it is a Choice Specs variant, but if it is a Choice Scarf variant, and if I can keep my Rotom healthy and my Latios healthy via the Wish of Clefable, I'll actually be in pretty good shape this match. However, I did face this man, this Jake5, on my ladder run, and really my battle with him was one of the first times I've gotten severely outplayed. Like, I got destroyed the last time I played him. So this was kind of a revenge match for me, and we'll just see if I got my revenge. Let's go ahead and jump into this. I decided to lead off with my Heatran, expecting his Bisharp lead, as that's what he did last time he played against me, because he expected me to lead Landorus T that game, and it actually did not work out very well for me due to Defiant. But I decided to switch into my Rotom here on his Keldeo lead, and he gets the burn with Scald, which sucks, but the good news is that I am now able to identify that this is a Choice Scarfed Keldeo, which makes it a little bit less of a threat, but still a nuisance, just because it is going to be able to outspeed my entire team. Here I go into my Rotom on the Keldeo, as I said before, get off a burn on the incoming Latios, which is great, and here I'm going to just switch in my Clefable to get off a Heal Bell to get that burn off a Rotom, knowing that I need to keep it healthy in order to have a chance in this game, and knowing that I really don't fear Latios at all with my Clefable, or really any other switch, and he might have for the Rotom, as he's definitely not going to be switching Bisharp on the Rotom, or Excadrill on the Rotom for that matter. So, here, he just goes for the Toxic on my Clefable, and gets up his rocks, of course, the turn before, which is fine. I'm just going to switch into my Rotom to absorb the Wish, again knowing that Rotom needs to be at as much health as possible in order to be effective in this game, particularly against the Keldeo and the Excadrill. Now here I'm expecting to switch into Latios. I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch to get some momentum, and I'm going to go into my Landorus T to continue this momentum, as I am a Choice Scarf variant, and he has nothing to deter me from going for U-turn here, and that is exactly what I'm going to do as he goes into his Keldeo, which is nice because any damage is great damage on a Scarf Keldeo, as they are pretty hard to get your hands on. And here I'm just going to go straight into my Rotom to again continue the momentum, because why not? And if he decides to go into Hippowdon or Excadrill, I have no problem with that, because then I just get a free burn on something or into the Volt Switch, whatever I happen to predict. But he decides to stay in and go for Scald, and I'm going to pause here because this was actually big. Volt Switch does not have a chance to KO Keldeo from that range, so he would have been able to live and likely heal himself up with a Healing Wish from Latios. That's what I would have expected him to do, although he also could have used Latios to Healing Wish his Excadrill later on, or his Bisharp, because those are both pretty solid options against my team. So I'm not really sure if that crit mattered in the long run, but it definitely helps early on, as now I have a lot more freedom to move around, as I said in the team preview, And this is really nice because now I'm going to Volt Switch into my Scizor, as it has a pretty good matchup against his entire team. Even if he wants to go into Bisharp, I know this is an SD Bisharp due to our previous matchup, and he of course just goes for the SD here, which is interesting because SD Scizor does beat this one-on-one. So I guess I don't know, I guess he was predicting my switch out there as well, and I'm just going to take him out with a Bug Bite. So I'm not really sure if I agree with that series of plays on his end, but maybe he was just trying to get Scizor weakened so that he could take me out with Excadrill, but this is way too obvious of an Earthquake, so I'm going to just switch right into my Landorus T to eat that up, and he makes a nice play here, predicting my U-turn, and stays in, and now I have to basically choose who's going to take a truckload of damage, as he just goes for the SD, which is kind of scary, as now Rotom is not quite in range of Rock Slide, but if he does get the flinch with Rock Slide here, I'm going to go down, or he'll just get a crit and take me out. So that really sucks, but at least Keldeo is down as well, so it kind of evens out the early game hacks here. But now Excadrill is a threat. I know he's going to anticipate my Earthquake this time around, as Excadrill is now quite the threat, and I'm just going to go for the U-turn, knowing that this is the perfect opportunity to get all my health back with Scizor, and I need Scizor at high health to be able to handle Latias, to be able to handle Excadrill. His entire remaining team is actually walled pretty hard by Scizor if I play it properly. Now here I'm expecting the Swords Dance, and I end up getting a crit with Bug Bite. Now this was actually really big, and I'm not sure if I would have been able to pull this game out without that crit. I would have had to do a lot of shenanigans with my Intimidate, Landorus T, and etc. But because of that crit Bug Bite, and because he is Life Orbed, I'm now going to be able to take him down into Life Orb KO range with my Bullet Punch. And it's going to be a double down here. So that piece of hacks definitely was in my favor. I'm not sure if I would have pulled it out without it, but I'm definitely going to accept that. And now I'm in a pretty good position to pull out this game as long as I don't make any major chokes, as I'm just going to go for the U-turn on the Hippowdon, as it's a free switch into Clefable. Really, it's going to let me get this Toxic off of my Clefable, making it a better answer to the Mega Gardevoir, as I am able to survive the 2 Hyper Voices, I believe, from full without the Sand Up. But with the Sand Up, no, I'm not going to be able to do that. So basically this is going to be a one-time check, if you will, more of a I don't know. It's going to be able to stand in against the Gardevoir for one turn at least. But he reveals Taunt here on my Protect, and I was just protecting there to get a little more sand damage on the guard. And he goes for Hyper Voice, does about 57%, and of course with the Sand off and with the Protect and etc., I could have been able to live that from full, or 2 of those from full. But unfortunately that is not the case. He reveals Focus Blast here, which I guess he was trying to get the Heatran before it becomes a problem, but I actually disagree with that play a lot, because I was convinced that this was going to be a Taunt Will-O-Wisp set, and I was going to probably switch in Heatran on my next turn if he didn't reveal Focus Blast there. But because he revealed it there, I know that Heatran is not at all safe switch in, and I have no reason to go into it at this point. So I am just going to sack off my Clefable here to the Hyper Voice, and from here I'm going to be able to go into my Landorus T, knowing that Earthquake would be a KO, but also knowing that his switch in Hippowdon is so obvious, I'm just going to go for a U-turn again, as I just need a little more chip damage on the Mega Guard to be able to KO it with a Spec Psyshock from Latios. So I'm going to go for the U-turn on the Hippo. Now here is a pretty big play in the game, as it already revealed it there, but if he switched into Mega Guard on this turn, I lost. But if he stayed in, knowing that this is probably a fully Spadef Hippowdon due to the damage that I saw from my Mons on it earlier in the game, I think he's just going to slack off here, predicting my Draco Meteor, as a Spadef Hippo can live a Draco Meteor from this range. But, expecting that, I'm just going to go for the trick, as tricking him here actually will seal the game for me, as now he has essentially no means of recovery, or you can just spam slack off, but Hippowdon is just no longer a threat, meaning that I can win this game with Landorus T alone. So this is really nice. I'm just going to go for the Psyshock here on this turn, as it hits his entire team. He has to switch out Hippowdon. If he goes into Mega Gardevoir, it's going to be 2-hit KO'd. If he goes into Latias, it's also going to be 2-hit KO'd. And here I know that he is forced to really stay in. He should stay in on this turn to try to get all of his health back with Gardevoir. That was his best play, but it turns out that he was predicting me to do something else, or I don't really know. I just don't agree with this play whatsoever, as if he stayed in and won the speed tie against my Latios and got off a Healing Wish for this Gardevoir, I actually lost. But because he over-predicted, I guess he wanted me to go into my Heatran there on the Latias, but I don't know, that wasn't a good play in my opinion. But I did pull off a win against number 16 on the ladder, so that's pretty cool. I'm kind of stealing Styx's mojo here by posting a battle against the top of the ladder, but he hasn't posted in a long time, so I thought, why not? I'll do it instead. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. It definitely helps me out, helps us all out. We love to see the support, and also leave a comment. Just let us know what you think. And yeah, we will see you next time.